It is with pride and pleasure that I welcome you to this event honoring some of the accomplished alums of our College of Fine Arts. In my 40-plus years of teaching, I have had the privilege of knowing many talented students, and it is always a special pleasure for a teacher to be able to greet a former student a few years down the road and tell them, "You done good." The alums we honor today were selected by the faculty to represent the brightest and the best of those who have graced our classrooms and our stages. I'm also here to tell you, alums, that your College of Fine Arts is alive and thriving, with nearly 1,200 current students in our schools of art, music, theater, and program area in arts technology. We have with us this evening, or this afternoon rather, Provost Dr. Sherri Zech, Dan Lazelle from Finance and Planning, Vice President. Aaron Monet, Vice President for University Advancement. And Steve Adams, Vice President for Student Affairs. Also want to acknowledge Betty Kinzer, who is from our Board of Trustees and also one of our fine arts people. Where are you? It is also critical to acknowledge that we have a great leader at this university. The 17th president of Illinois State University is Dr. Al Bowman. Dr. Bowman has been tireless in his advocacy for this college and for the university's mission to educate Illinois, as our strategic plan phrases it. We thank him for his continued efforts, and it is with profound delight that I introduce to you Dr. Al Bowman, our university president. Dr. Bowman.
Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk this afternoon. I have a special connection to this college and this building. The first class I ever taught at Illinois State University was in CVA 147, and I'm looking forward to tearing that building down and building a better one. I also had the misfortune of being interim provost in 2002 when this building opened, and it just happened to be the same year that the state took $8 million away from Illinois State University, and we spent the summer trying to figure out how to equip this building and open it in September, and by gosh, we got it done because you're here today. Homecoming is a great time to celebrate the College of Fine Arts' 40th anniversary. We're very happy to be part of it. I want to extend my congratulations to our honorees today, our 23 honorees. The artistic talent launched by this college is simply superb. It's on display all across the country. My wife and I have a tradition in our family of spending the first week in August in Chicago. Kids go to Lollapalooza and lose more hearing. Linda and I go to see plays, and this year we were at Steppenwolf for Parallelogram. Some of you have probably seen it. The lead actor is Tom Irwin, graduate of Illinois State University, and his performance was simply mesmerizing. The college is working very hard to put on productions this year, and there will be over 400 productions throughout this academic year as the college celebrates this 40th anniversary. Jim, if you try to go to all 400 events, I will put you under house arrest. I can do that. I have my own police department. It's a great thing to have. It's better. Let other people do the dirty work, but I know Jim goes to as many events as he can, but this will be a spectacular year, and we are looking forward to the gala tomorrow night on Saturday night and to see what this college has in mind. Finally, I want to personally thank our inductees for continuing to be part of Illinois State University. Our students love to have you back. We love the chance to see what you've done with your careers and to share some of your glory. Thank you, congratulations, and best of luck to everyone.
Home is not where you stay, it is where you leave. It is a place to which you return, surely a place in which you store your most fundamental sense of self, a place to which you are ever drawn back. But home is meaningful in the end only if you leave it. You must challenge the boundaries of that fundamental in order to know that you are your own unique self, and to have something to bring back to the place of beginning, of belonging. As we live, our homes multiply. The place we were born is often not the place or places we are raised. Where we fall in love, where we work, where we find the greatest joy, all of these places enlarge the web of nodes we call home. Happily, one of those homes is, and always will be, where we get our educations. Sometimes that is the same place where we fall in love, where we begin our careers, or perhaps it is a place and a time in our lives that seems closed off from who we become or where we become it. But unlike other homes, there is an alwaysness about a university. The faces and buildings may change. We hope it does change. Hopefully. You notice where I looked. But each new generation of students, while making the place their own, also continues nurturing what makes a university, our Illinois State University, to be precise. The students who are here now need you, our treasured alums. They need to see what can evolve from beginnings not so different from their own. More deeply, they need to know that there are other homes for them in this world, that leaving this one only makes them coming back sweeter. The College of Fine Arts has thousands of alums who have found their way away from this place. We are pleased to honor this group of alums who have excelled in their profession, and we thank them for providing leadership to our current students. And of course, we welcome them home. We welcome you home. Thanks.
I'm Sherri Zech. I'm one of the Associate Deans in the College of Fine Arts, and it's my pleasure to have a moment here to very briefly introduce you to the alums we're honoring today. The few words that I can take time to say don't touch the kinds of accomplishments these folks have. They don't touch the kinds of integrity with which they approach their careers and their lives. It truly is a privilege to get to know them a little bit this weekend and to get to read about them and hear about what it is they do. Alums will come forward. They'll receive their tiny token. I think they're beautiful. They will receive their tiny token. Aren't the flowers lovely? They'll receive their tiny token from Associate Dean Walker and Dean Major, and then they'll also cross over here to shake hands with our provost and our president and with the directors of their respective programs. First, from the School of Art, Nicholas Africano. Nick Africano considers essential ideas of mortality and the fragile nature of existence through his exquisite figurative works rendered most recently in glass sculpture. Throughout his career as an acclaimed artist, Africano's vision has found form in oil and acrylic painting, drawing on paper, clay, and other materials. His artwork has been exhibited and collected extensively by national and international venues, including the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago, the Museum of Contemporary Art in New York, the Whitney Museum of American Art, the Corcoran Gallery, and many other places. Africano completed a BS in English in 1971 and a Master's in Art in 1974 here at ISU. Laurie Dahlberg. Laurie Dahlberg is chair of the Art History Department and an associate professor of photography at Bard College. Dr. Dahlberg earned a BA in art in 1979 and an MA in art history in 1987 at ISU. Her first book, Victor Regnault and the Advance of Photography, The Art of Avoiding Errors, was published by Princeton University Press in 2005. Additional published works include Larry Fink, 55, and Thomas Eakins and the Heart of American Life. Laurie has lectured widely in the U.S. and abroad and is also a freelance contributor to Aperture magazine. Janet Colos is an art critic and an arts editor living in New York City. She completed her master's degree in art history at ISU in 1984. Since 1988, she's been associated with Art in America, first as a freelancer, then a staff editor, and now a contributing editor. And she recently served as guest editor for several issues of American Craft magazine. Ms. Colos has particular interest in American, Japanese, and Dutch contemporary art and in American contemporary craft. Altogether, she has published more than 2,500 articles, reviews, and essays. May I add, she's recently co-authored a book, Makers, A History of American Studio Craft, an undergraduate textbook that I believe is the first of its kind in this field. Next we have Lorenzo Pace. Dr. Pace is an international artist and author. He's well known for his award-winning African-American heritage children's book, Jelani and the Lock. Lorenzo has created and installed a national monument in New York City. His Triumph of the Human Spirit commemorates the oldest African-American burial site in the United States. Dr. Pace's work is known internationally through installation and performance. He recently had a major installation at the dedication for the first contemporary art museum in China, the Sunshine Museum in Beijing. John Pounds. John Pounds joined Chicago Public Art Group in 1983, where he created collaborative public artworks such as murals and playground sculptures. In 1989, Pounds became executive director of the group, committing himself to developing the ability of the organization and its artists to respond more fully to community needs. Pounds has made presentations on community public art processes throughout the U.S. In 2001, John Pounds received a Community Service Fellowship from the Chicago Commemorative Community Trust to support the development of new ideas. During the fellowship, he studied the intersection of urban planning, community organizing, and public art while traveling extensively in Europe and North America. Peter Spooner. Peter Spooner, curator at the Tweed Museum of Art, University of Minnesota since 1994, completed both an MS and an MFA in art at the ISU. Spooner has organized a number of group exhibitions and catalogs around art and science themes, such as Botanica and Mathematical Instinct, which traveled extensively in the U.S. At the Tweed Museum of Art, he's worked with historical, European and American, and Native collections. He's developed groundbreaking projects and publications rediscovering unresearched American artists. Spooner has taught art, art history, and museum studies at a variety of levels and has published essays on the work of many contemporary artists, including Philip Pearlstein and Dennis Oppenheim. James Wynne. James Wynne is a distinguished painter whose photorealistic imagery evokes a sensitive and insightful portrait of the American Midwestern landscape, and it looks really good on the kiosk. At ISU, Wynne earned a bachelor's and master's degree in art by 1980 and an MFA in theater in 1982. His artwork has been exhibited and collected nationally and internationally by such institutions as the Art Institute of Chicago, Amon Carter Museum in Texas, and the Seigo Art Museum in Japan. Wynne is here again. He was our commencement speaker last week, and we're glad to have him back. Last year. Joseph Court, from the program in Arts Technology. Joe Court earned an undergraduate degree in theater before earning his master's in Arts Technology. He's a Chicago-based freelance sound designer and sound engineer. Mr. Court was the sound engineer for the Chicago production of the Tony Award-winning musical $1 Million Quartet and serves as resident sound designer for Emerald City Theater Company. He has also designed for many professional theater productions, including The Unseen in 2009, for which he was nominated for a Joseph Jefferson Award. We turn now to the School of Music, and we begin with Greg Bim. Greg Bim is the band director at Marian Catholic High School in Chicago Heights. Under his direction, the band program has earned a national reputation as one of the premier high school band programs in the United States. The Marian Band has been named the Outstanding Catholic High School Concert Band in the United States 3 times and crowned Bands of America Grand National Champion 6 times. Robert Fred Kern. Dr. Fred Kern is the coordinator of piano pedagogy and keyboard skills and professor of music at the University of North Texas in Denton. He is the author or co-author of 7 piano methods and has contributed original compositions, arrangements, and pedagogy curricula to numerous pedagogical publications. Dr. Kern is also a respected clinician, having led workshops in 36 states, Canada, and Taiwan. Rex Martin. Rex Martin is professor of tuba at Northwestern University. His playing can be heard on more than 100 recordings of various ensembles, including the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, Chicago Pro Musica, Tower Brass, Mannheim Steamroller, and the Lyric Opera of Chicago, and on more than 3,000 television and radio commercials. His students occupy positions in orchestras and universities throughout the world. Ray Roderick. Ray Roderick, honored here by the School of Music, is a writer, director, and choreographer who has most recently conceived and written and directed Swonderful, the new Gershwin musical, for the Gershwin Estate, which is now on a national tour and which you can see here in Bloomington Normal on November 5th. Ray has appeared in and directed many shows on Broadway and across the country, including originating roles in Cats, Crazy for You, and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Paul Rosen. Dr. Paul Rosen was professor of music education and music therapy at Illinois State University from 1967 to 1990 and founder of the ISU Music Therapy Program. He is a recipient of the Illinois Music Education Association's Distinguished Service Award and has been recognized in Who's Who in Education for his contributions to music education. An authority on handbells and choir chimes, he has published several books on the subject. School of Theater honorees include Jill Cordle. Jill Cordle is an in-demand stage manager in New York. Her credits include the national tours of Catskills on Broadway, Annie Warbucks, and Cats. Off-Broadway, she stage managed numerous productions at the Manhattan Theater Club and has worked extensively in regional theater as well as off-Broadway, including productions at the Women's Project, Ensemble Studio Theater, Manhattan Class Company, the Directors Project for the Drama League, and the Virginia State Company and the Emlyn Theater. Most recently, she served as stage manager of the Broadway hit God of Carnage, survived 3 casts and a bevy of Tony Awards. Here to represent our next honoree, Michael Dice Sr., is his wife, Kathleen. Michael Dice Sr. was a beloved teacher and artist of theater. He developed the theater program at Lake Park High School into one of the most prestigious in the state. Under Michael's direction in 1980, 1987, and 1992, Lake Park High School won the Illinois High School Association State Drama Contest and made it to the state finals 18 times. Michael was twice selected by honorees and the Lake Park Educational Foundation as the most influential teacher of distinguished alumni recipients. When Michael retired from teaching, he focused on stage performance. In 2002, he landed his first major role in the stage-left production of Prairie Lights. Unfortunately, it was on his way to a production when he suffered a fatal heart attack. In February of 2006, the Lake Park High School named its newly renovated theater the Michael D. Dice Sr. Auditorium. His wife, Kathleen, is accepting our token of appreciation on his behalf, and I can tell you that this School of Theater has had dozens, if not hundreds, of students who've been touched by the legacy of Michael Dice Sr. Randy Duncan. Randy Duncan has used elements of ballet, jazz, African and modern dance to create works for the Joffrey Ballet, River North Chicago Dance Company, Giordano Jazz Dance Chicago, Spectrum Dance Company in Seattle, Washington, Batdor Dance Company of Israel, and the Tennessee Children's Dance Ensemble. Randy has also worked for prominent regional theaters and is a 3-time recipient of Chicago's prestigious Ruth Page Award for Outstanding Choreographer of the Year. Thomas Schilling. Tom Schilling has worked in the field of theater management, serving in such varied roles as production stage manager, general manager, and executive producer. His work for Nederlander Worldwide Entertainment is particularly noteworthy for having produced quality commercial theater outside the U.S. on a regular basis. Tom also has had the unique task of putting famous recording artists such as Ricky Martin into Broadway productions.
This is such a great day for the College of Fine Arts. We're not done celebrating. Please take a moment when you get to a chance to view the kiosk in the lobby. The structure was designed by Randy Reed. Randy, where are you? There he is. He's an art alum and also a current School of Art employee. And Randy, in case you don't know this, the Reggie head, you did that out at the Alumni Center, and the bell. So Randy's all around us. The material on the touch screen was prepared by Assistant to the Dean, Pete Geither. Pete, where are you? Their efforts will allow us to present glimpses into the accomplishments of Hall of Famers in a way that is dynamic, flexible, and constantly growing, all of which we take as values in the arts generally. If the students, faculty, and staff, friends, and alums who are here are able, we would love to see you and have a chance to talk with you at length at the tailgate tomorrow at 11. And we have a huge tent. So lots of food from Moe's, so y'all come. I want to acknowledge my College of Fine Arts Dean staff, too, who've been working behind the scenes. Sherri Zech has been in charge of this part of what we've been doing. Would you all stand? Sherri and John and Janet and Laurie Merriman. Nathan, would you stand, please? And when you come tomorrow night, you're going to experience something that I hope you all come, that you'll never forget. Pete Geither, I'm going to acknowledge again, Pete has been the executive producer of what you're going to see tomorrow night. And we have a lot of talent in the dean's office as well as in the college office, or in the college in general. Finally, I would like to close with a special word to our current students in the audience. Someday we will see you on this stage. And what you do in school now is certainly not all that will bring you success, but know we are giving you the best that we can. And Illinois State University is proud to be one of your homes. Thank you all for coming, and especially thank you to the alums for sharing this day with us and their families and friends. Would you please stand, please?